Today we're going to break all the rules just to piss everybody off. Now, I know that, that typical 45-degree angle and, this ratio and that ratio and Rembrandt and butterfly. I don't pay attention to any of that. It was important in the film days, but now we have a screen. When you have a screen on the back of your camera, who cares? Look at it and say, oh, I love that. Or maybe if I move it this way just a little bit, it'll be better. That's the best way to do this. Play with it, have fun, and break the rules a little bit. So today we're going to just be using the Godox stick light and the AD200 Pro. That's it. I'm going to break the rules. No modifiers. I'm going to cast shadows. I'm going to cut off at the knees. I'm going to do everything wrong to create some amazing images, I hope. So let's get into the shoot. Let's break some rules. Let's just have some fun and see what we can come up with. Thanks for watching as always. I hope you get something out of this video. Well, this is going to be fun. Okay, so I'm going to show you my picks for the deliverables at the end. I never get to do that during these videos, but I'm going to do it this time. Now, this very first shot, I had that flash directly at her. Boring, straight flash. This is not what I'm looking for this shoot. My end deliverables are going to be black and white for her. So what do I do next? Because I didn't like that shot. I bounce it into the V flat. Now, I'm thinking as I'm setting this up going, oh, this is stupid. You're just going to get a soft light. Not thinking that it's too low for just that soft light. I'm thinking, I wanted to do something different, want to do something unique, and here I am bouncing it into a V flat for soft light. This is not what I'm looking for. But then I get this. It's kind of an uplight towards her, and I loved it. Now, in a million years, I would never put an uplight on somebody or purposely create this uplight kind of look. But when I saw it, I loved it. Now, I couldn't raise that light up anymore because the V-flat isn't that tall. I could have moved the V-flat and used the white wall and raised it, and it would have given me a beautiful soft light across her, but that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking to play and get unique shots that I wouldn't have got before. And believe me, this, those happy accidents that happen, like this uplight kind of look that I'm getting from this, I loved. I wanted to try the full length to see if I was going to like that as well, and I do. I absolutely love it. So this is one I'm going to remember for her. Now, obviously, some things aren't going to work for all people. It works for her. For some reason, it seems like it's elongating her as well, for the long shots. It's just a really special light for her that works. So I'm definitely going to be using this for her again. The only thing I was thinking as I was shooting that, because the light on the left side of her was a little bit brighter, is I could have used that barn door just to close that just a little bit and block that light from the left side. And that's an afterthought. If I was paying more attention while I was shooting, I would have done that. So now I'm turning that light around and directing it right at her. Again, I'm a fan of hard light. I'm a fan of nasty shadows. We live with the sun, and it kills me. Like, I'll get so many comments, and it's only on YouTube. It's not from my clients, my paying clients that pay me for my nasty shadows. It's only from YouTube people that say, oh my God, that's horrible. That, I would never deliver that. You can't deliver that. It's unprofessional. Well, natural is shadows. We have the sun. We don't have a giant softbox in the sky. We have the sun, and it creates harsh shadows. So we see that every single day. That's as natural as you get. And everybody that hires me for my work usually hires me because of this type of work. I like shadows. I think it creates depth, interest, texture. That's what works for me. You don't have to like it, and I'm not saying, do harsh shadows. I'm saying play around and like that uplight. I would have, in a million years, I would never tell anybody to do that. And now I love it. I love it for her. I'm going to try it with other people. It may be horrible for other people, but I think with the right body type and the right person, it's going to work. So I'm going to try it again and again. When you get something that you like, use it and remember it. If you get something you don't like while you're playing with these lights, just switch it. Stop and go, nope, this isn't working. There's nothing embarrassed about that. I'm sorry, but I'm doing a horrible job with this light. don't say, "Oh, no, that's bad." 'Cause they'll think it's them. Tell them specifically, "I'm screwing up with this light. I gotta change this." Uh, I wanna but if I like it, I'm gonna show it to her. I wanna see her reaction immediately. When I showed her the uplight shots, loved them instantly. It was like, "Oh my god, that's incredible." That's what I love to hear, and she's the client. She's who matters. Now I just switched it to the other side. Again, I'm using that bare bulb, but with the barn doors on there, the barn door contraption that's on there, that blocks the light from everywhere around. Because remember, it's a round flash tube. So that's blocking the light in the back, and it's silver, so it's pushing it forward. So it's giving me that hard directional light. Love that. Now, I'm not telling you to go out and buy the stick light by any means. I got this for a specific job, and that job paid for it many times over. But I didn't think I'd be using it quite as often as I am, and I am. I use it everywhere. Uh, you know, bare bulb without the barn doors on it, it just shoots light 360 degrees. So you can imagine if you're in a white room or a white ceiling, a silver elevator, that's a really unique look, by the way. There's just so much you can do with it, and it's so much fun. I cracked me up when I first saw this. People were putting it in soft boxes. I'm like, why even get it? Like, what's the purpose of having a unique light if you're just going to throw it in a soft box? And it just doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, I will use the barn doors later, so you can see the unique looks you can get with that. Because I really like the raw look from the barn doors. It gives a lot of unique shadow from the backdrop that just make me happy. Now, I'm just using this as a horizontal over my head, a straight shot, kind of boring, you know. So immediately I change it. G- I try it. If I don't like it, I switch it. That's what you have to do. But if you do like it, get some shots with it. Now, whether you're using a speed light or any other kind of light, it doesn't matter. Um, Again, I'm not trying to sell you the stick light. This is a very niche product, and it takes some work to get used to it, and it takes a definite, specific type of person to like the light that it produces. But whatever light you're using, the whole point of this is to play. Ignore every rule there is. Don't worry about the rules, because you never know when you're going to get a shot that you go, okay, I love that. I like that look. I would have never thought of that. These are straightforward because I have to get some staples, for the clothing, for the hair, whatever. I need some staples, and then I start playing again. If I get the staples, I'm good to go. Then it's my turn. Now I'm using the barn doors a little bit. I'm purposely having them, create different tones on the backdrop that uh, I normally wouldn't get, because it is adding depth. It's adding like a room dimension to a flat white backdrop. Um, and that's what I love about this thing. Now, you can do the same thing with a speed light, believe it or not. Get barn doors for your speed light. It'll do the same thing. The further back you put it, the harder the light's going to be, the more directional it can be. Zoom that light in, put a piece of cardboard in front of it. It doesn't even have to be, rubber band and cardboard. Do fun things. Get a colander from your kitchen sink, shoot it through that. Do things and experiment, and you'll be shocked on what you get, and the creative images you can pull out of nothing. Trust me, there's going to be 90% of them that you absolutely hate and go, oh crap, I can't believe I just did that. But that 10% are so spectacular, and you would have never got them if you didn't play and try. Uh, you know, Forget the rules. I know everybody's pounding into your head 45 degrees down angle this way, and I I get it. We need soft light for some of our images, but for all the other ones, get get unique, get different, play with it, and find something that you would have never done before, and create that special image. That's that's what's fun about photography. Listening to the rules, like 85 millimeter you have to use for portraits, and 28 millimeters you have to use for street photography. Like, who says? There is no rule for this. The only rules there are is YouTubers creating them as they go. If you like compression, great, use 85.
love 50. I think it's flattering. It works for me. I use 28s all the time on portraits. I don't care. I want the unique look. I want to be different. I don't want to be like everybody else. And everybody else would be saying, you need a large softbox, soft light. These are horrible. You need an 85 millimeter. Yes, if I want to look like every other person out there, that's what I would do. But I don't. I want to be unique. I want to be different. Not everybody has to like them. Myself and the client have to like them, and that's what matters. You know, critiques, they kill me every time I see people doing critiques of other people's images. I'm thinking that photographer loved that image. That's why he submitted it. And you're tearing it apart going, no, everything is wrong with this. Like, who are you to say? That's your opinion. That photographer loved it because they submitted it. Maybe it's what they like to do. Maybe that's going to be the next best thing, you know. So anyway, I just have an issue with that. I hope you enjoyed the video. This was, for me, this is a lot of fun. And I love sharing this type of video with you. I dearly hope that it inspires you in some way just to play, practice, and have fun. These are my edits for the deliverables. Anyway, I hope you like them. I think they're great, and I was really pleased with the shoot. Anyway, again, thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of the images, and I will see you guys soon.